This time I'd like to introduce today's commencement speaker to you today. Today's commencement speaker is Dr. David James Randolph. Dr. Randolph has served as Olivet University's president for the past 3 years, guiding it through a time of great change and advancement for our university. Before coming to Olivet, Dr. Randolph was a longtime church pastor and also a professor at several institutions, including Drew University's School of Theology and the Princeton Theological Seminary. Dr. Randolph is also an accomplished writer with numerous publications and books. His new book, entitled The Renewal of Preaching in the 21st Century, will be the third edition of his book and be published this coming fall by Wipf & Stock. Dr. Randolph is here today with his son, David Magdalene Randolph, his daughter, Tracy, her husband, Carlos, and grandson, Anthony. Today's commencement address is entitled The Greatest Adventure. Please welcome Dr. David Randolph.
Thank you, Walker, for your kind words and many good deeds for Olivet University. Class of 2009, congratulations! We congratulate you for reaching a milestone in your lives and for moving forward in the greatest adventure. Now, what is this greatest adventure to which I refer? A famous writer of the 20th century, James Michener, used that title in a book in which he claimed that the greatest adventure in human history was the thrust into outer space. He was referring to the moon mission and the exploration of space. Now, I agree that that was a great adventure. But I speak of a greater adventure. The greatest adventure is not the thrust into outer space, but learning to trust in inner grace, finding the divine power which can lead us to life's deepest meaning. Now, without this inner resource and divine grace, we may become technological titans, but we're moral morons. So today I call you, and I call all of us, I call you to adventure. I call you to the greatest adventure. The greatest adventure is to join with others in community to unite deep faith and high tech to transform the world for the biblical vision of love and justice in the kingdom of God. This is the greatest adventure, and I call you to it today. Already, in the words of other speakers, the biblical basis has been set forth for this mission. And you know that you are not surprised by it because we have done our best to prepare you for it at Olivet, and now we send you forth. Now, I confess to you that the field into which we send you today is a very difficult one. In looking over commencement addresses, as reported in the New York Times, there is a shock all across academia this year because commencement addresses, which are supposed to be, oh, you are so great and the world is so wonderful and just go out and everything is going to be yours. No commencement speakers are getting away with that this year. Nobody buys it. The students are being told instead, well, the world's at war and finances are bad and the world is in chaos and congratulations. It's really the tone of a lot of commencement addresses, but you're not going to get that from me today because I bring you good news of hope. And this is a message of hope today. And it's one of hope because our hope is not built on the conditions of society. Our hope is built on the character of God. And we still believe, that with God all things are possible. Now, do you believe that? If you believe that, say yes. Yes. Say yes again. Yes. Then all things are possible. I'm not going to pretend that the challenges are not great. They are great. They're greater than you think they are. But I can promise you that God is greater than all your challenges. God is greater even than you think God is. Our situation is like that of a mother who was trapped with her 2 infant children in a burning building in Brooklyn, New York. They were on the 10th floor of this apartment building at a time when the ladders of the fire department reached only to the 9th floor. And the mother there was trapped with these 2 children. And the flames were looking up toward them. Imagine how she must have felt in that situation with her children. Ladders reaching only to the 9th floor. She's on the 10th. Could they be saved? There seemed to be no hope. But a courageous firefighter climbed to the top of the ladder. And the firefighter tied his legs around the top of the ladder and urged the woman, as he reached as far as he could, urged her to reach as far as she could and hand the 2 children to her one at a time. The mother went to her 2 children and she said, "Children, we're going to have an adventure." And with that spirit, she took each child and reached as far as she could and handed it to the fireman, who reached as far as he could and took it until all were brought to safety. Now, that is the spirit that is called today to meet our situation. Today, fires still burn in Brooklyn and Baghdad and elsewhere, including Bethlehem. At times, salvation seems far off and the Prince of Peace homeless again. And yet, if followers of Jesus Christ stretch ourselves to the limits, stretch ourselves to the maximum for love and for justice, and if those of other faiths will do the same, then we and our children and our children's children, by the grace of God, will be saved. And it is of major importance that those of deep faith reach out toward those in high tech, the master of the technical fields. Reach out and connect with one another so that the greatest truth may be shared with the greatest number of people. And then from the burning buildings will emerge new life. We sang today that great hymn of Charles Wesley, which I love so much, "Oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing." And I know that if Charles Wesley were here today, and he is here today, he would say, "Oh, for 1,000,000,000 computers to praise, sing my great Redeemer's praise. Oh, for 5,000,000,000 applications to sing my great Redeemer's praise." This is our calling. The greatest adventure is to join with others in community, to unite deep faith and high tech, to transform the world with this good news of the biblical vision of love and justice in the kingdom of God. Now, the reasons for my hope are found within this premise itself. First, when you and I as individuals join communities, we gain power. We have impact. Individual groups combine for group impact. Jesus, you remember, had 12 disciples, many followers, but 12 disciples. Paul said, we're all one body, many parts, but one body. And here at Olivet, all around us, we see evidence of this truth. We see it in our own family experience. That's the initial experience of the group, which gains impact through combining talents. And I'm so happy beyond words today to look out and to see members of my family who are here. My son David, daughter Tracy, Carlos, and their son, my grandson Anthony. It's so deeply satisfying to be together with them in family and to be able to acknowledge how important this is and to acknowledge how, again and again, they've shared with me not only information, which actually has helped us here at Olivet in a number of ways, but more than that, the inspiration and support to know that if I become discouraged, they will lift my spirits. And when I get a little too proud, they know how to humble me. Believe me, they know how to keep me humble. And I'm thrilled and happy and thank you beyond words my power to express my love and gratitude to you. And when I look out and see Dr. Wagner and his family and the families of others, the families of those of you who are graduating and supported here, I know that you know how powerful this is. So as you master new media, keep your old friends and love your family. Now, we know that not only from our experience in families, we know it because Olivet is a family. And we don't say that lightly. I believe there is an Olivet family. And that's not just a phrase to me. It's very deep. That we live together, we love together, we suffer together. And we triumph together. When we win victory, it is a victory that all of us share. As Walker said in his gracious remarks, this is a great time at Olivet University. This is a great time. And you are part of an historic moment today. It's not only that we come now with the accreditation of the Association of Biblical Higher Education, which authenticates the education at a new level. That's only one aspect of what has happened in these recent years when I've been privileged to be with you. For there's been the approval by the state of California, the I-20 granting, which enables students to come from all over the world to study here. We have increased the enrollment, expanded our faculty, improved our outreach, enlarged our facilities. God has been good to Olivet University. And we thank God for that. And I thank every one of you who is here and around the world, who is part of that Olivet family, which enables us to have this great celebration together with these historic moments, which enable us not to gloat in our satisfaction, but to be in a better position to speak to the world authentically and authoritatively.